we're going to talk about the top 10 characters for the month of November 2021. Before we do that, I got to give a shout out to everyone who last month liked the video. It was one of my most liked videos. It's always one of my favorite videos to make every month. And we're going to get right to the list now. I know this is a top 10 list. We're going to talk about 12 characters, and some of the characters I'm going to talk about, maybe they're falling off the list. We'll have to see. Some of this stuff is going to be speculation, so we'll just take it as it goes. But first things first, we have to talk about KESTREL. KESTREL is making the list because she is quite amazing, and she has 2 tags, Tech and Skill. And she's going to be the first character that I tried to take to Gear Tier 16, and I'm going to be definitely taking her into Dark Dimension 5. The rest of my list for Dark Dimension 5 is still a little bit up in the air. I'm trying to see how it plays out. I have to make a separate video about that. Maybe I'll team up with Remenex and we'll do that. KESTREL easily makes the list. She's good at everything. She makes every team better. I love this character, and boy, her passive is a force to be reckoned with, being able to effectively neuter very important characters, or what used to be very important characters like Mr. Sinister and Phoenix. My goodness, she has to make the list. Also on the list is going to be Silver Surfer, and Silver Surfer is amazing. Yes, he's good. I use him in several game modes, especially in raids and things like that. The thing is, though, he's kind of the character that started it all. We call it the after Silver Surfer meta. As a joke, because of the acronym ASS. And just because he's so strong, it seems like the characters after him have been very, very strong. I don't use him as much as I once did, but he is still a force to be reckoned with, and he has to make the list. Not a problem. Next, we have to talk about an oldie but goodie. And I don't know if she belongs on the list, but recently there's been a changing of the guard in the arena, and you did the Eternals, which are absolutely on this list. But it's interesting how Emma continues to remain important, mostly because of her passive right here. Apply minus 10% seed to all enemies. That seems to be a very, very good ability almost always. So she's still very important. Now, I don't know, like I said, there's more characters on this list than probably need to be. But I just wanted to talk about how she keeps popping up. And a lot of her kit is in some ways future-proof to a certain degree. Not entirely. I hate to use future-proof because we were wrong about Mr. Sinister, right? Mr. Sinister we thought was going to be a future-proof character. No, KESTREL negated that. But right here, this clears negative effects. That's almost always good. This right here clears the positive effects on your opponents and it forces them to attack each other, which is also seems to be a very good mechanic. So I just wanted to revisit this idea that Emma is still important. I'm still using her almost every day, and I think she's great. Don't use her in raids, but I do use her in the arena. Boy, Gamora in Infinity Watch. Almost took her off the list, but I put her back on the list because I think maybe she will still be important in grand tournaments whenever that comes out. Right now, I'm only using her inside of offense on Alliance Wars, but I will use them inside of the arena if someone else puts a kind of a cheesy team that includes Emma, Loki, and Cable. Yeah, then I'll just use Infinity Watch to walk over them. So this is the one that is probably needed to be removed from the list, but I'm not really, I just needed to acknowledge her. And so I thought I would just throw her on this list just to talk about how Infinity Watch is kind of fallen off and everything has been replaced by Eternals and Omega Red and so on and so on. Let's move on. Next, we got to talk about Symbiote Spider-Man. Again, another character that is falling off the list. Now, what I'm not sure about, I believe we're going to be getting a new bio raid team. There's been tons of rumors out there. A lot of people have been talking about it. And it seems like Symbiote Spider-Man does, and friends, we're talking about Anti-Venom and Carnage and all of them, still do very well in Doom 2.3. However, I think there's going to be a place for them in Dark Dimension for a long time. But I just wanted to put this guy on he's suspect. He's on notice. He's probably, so these last three characters are kind of characters like, whereas like I just wanted to talk about them, but I'm not sure if they need to be on this list. You know, they're honorable mentions, or maybe they're falling off. So that would definitely would be, you know, Emma, just because she's come back a little bit. Gamora is probably falling off, and Symbiote Spider-Man is probably falling off. Doctor Doom! Oh my God, the reward for Dark Dimension 4. Now, I did not put Dormammu on this list because nobody has him other than one person at the time of making this video. But of course, Dormammu is on this list. He's best character in the game, hands down. Doctor Doom is still very important, very relevant. And I also want to point out that he is tech and mystic, so you can use him on 2 lanes in Doom. 2.2, 2.3, whatever you're doing, 2.0, 2.1. Yes, he's very important. I think he's a little bit underrated. I mean, when you win with him, like if you play with him in RTA, you know, someone drops him below 50%, he gets the turn meter and gets the energy, and when he blows, and you win the match. You know, that's great. So I just want to say that Doom is definitely 1000% on this list. Next, we have to talk about Secret Avengers, which means that we're also we're talking about Captain America, Sam Wilson. We're also going to loosely include Sharon Carter and Maria Hill. I feel like we need another Secret Avenger, frankly. I actually struggle a little bit inside of the skill part of the raids, but we'll talk about one of the characters that makes it a lot better, and also a superstar. I bet you're guessing who I'm already thinking about, but we'll talk about him in a minute. But Captain America Sam Wilson, I love this guy. I love his massive amounts of turn meter that can be generated by this ability right here, and this is just an excellent version of, better than what Captain America does with taunt, giving out ability energy, and if you're paired up with a skill, you get an attack out of it. It's just like he's like the best of both worlds of 2 older characters, Falcon and Captain America, and then together we have Captain America Sam Wilson, who's a better version of both of those characters. Big fan of this guy. Let's move on. Next, we have to talk about Jubilee. Jubilee is completely relevant. Use her tons inside of the mutant lanes for raids. Astonishing X-Men, this huge amount of usefulness even right now. And also in War, I've been seeing a lot of people put Jubilee, Beast, and Bishop together with Phoenix and Colossus. Or I'm expecting there to be a revamp of the X-Men with Phoenix, with Magic. We're going to see how that plays out, but that is on the future next patch. Hopefully there's going to be some reworks to the Phoenix and Friends, you know, that does something for Storm, Cyclops, and Colossus. But without a doubt, Jubilee, Bishop, and all of them have to be on the list because I use them every day inside of the raids. They're my go-to mutant, without a doubt, raid team for Doom. Next, we have to talk about Deathpool, but really when I'm talking about Deathpool, I'm also talking about Cloak and Dagger. In a lot of ways, I think I get more use out of Cloak and Dagger than Deathpool, but Deathpool just seems to be amazing for Mystic and raids, and all around great. Also, her passive, one of probably the better passives in the game. I'm a big fan of passives like that KESTREL has, Deathpool has, and also the OG. Basically, I think the one that started it all would have been Black Bolt, who's not on the list, but those passives where they basically ping characters and finish them off is just amazing. I love the way that this works. It took them a lot of work to get this to work correctly. It feels like they had like 3 bugs with her when she came out, and now that she's mostly working correctly, as far as I can tell, she's quite amazing. And Cloak and Dagger, especially Dagger. Dagger just does so much damage. She's so scary. But altogether, you know, one of my favorite teams to play in raid is going to be Deathpool, Cloak, Dagger with the new Eternals, Cersei and IKARIS. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Mega Red. I gotta say that this guy definitely is a force to be reckoned with. I gotta say that his middle ability right here, when it applies to trauma and ability block, is amazing, specifically when you have characters like IKARIS who have ways of removing ability block, not only off himself, but also off Cersei and another character with the lowest health. So this right here, the trauma mechanic basically prevents this ability block from being cleansed and removed. Very, very, very important. Without a doubt, Weapon X is the best team on offense inside of Alliance War, and just destroying Heroes for Hire. I'm going to put this guy in the thumbnail because he's probably my favorite right now. I just totally love using this guy. One of my favorite characters right now for sure. Next on the list is IKARIS. Oh, I kind of want to put him on the list too. I kind of want to put him in the thumbnail. I'm going to put a Mega Red in the thumbnail. But this guy right here, Wreck Nerds, him and Cersei inside of the arena. Everything's been different. This guy is good in every single game mode. He's good in raids. He's good in Alliance War. And I'm going to guess that he's good in Dark Dimension 4, but he's probably good in every single game mode. Bonkers. I think the one thing about him that just blows my mind is his passive right here. On turn, if not stunned, clear ability block and one random negative effect from self, Cersei, and the most injured ally. So basically, potentially, you could be removing 6 negative effects just passively when he takes a turn. Amazing! And then, of course, we're talking about IKARIS, but Cersei also just absolutely changed the face of Alliance War. Typically, right now on defense, I'm running IKARIS, Cersei, paired up with like Doom and let's say KESTREL and a Mega Red. You can use whatever you want. There's been on offense, I'll take out KESTREL and Doom, and I'll run like Emma and Loki just to make them faster. Loki will make Cersei faster on the team because of Loki's passive. Loki doesn't really do anything. And some people will even go as far to run Cable, but that's a bit extreme. Just so that Cersei can go first. Being able to remove the turn meter right at the beginning of the battle. IKARIS also has it right here, where right here, if he's paired up, reduce speed bar. But mostly, you know, that's also a part of Cersei's kit. They're amazing. I love these guys. They've changed the game, made it so much fun. Next on the list is Shang-Chi. Love him or hate him, this guy is very good in the skill part of the raids. I had no idea how good he is inside of raids. This ability right here does so much damage and reducing turn meter. I even like using him in RTA. And also, super annoying Heroes for Hire on defense in war. Of course, nobody likes that team. It's definitely discouraging, but this guy right here is easily on the list, and I wanted to put him on here just to acknowledge, because he's one of the best defensive war teams, and his extreme usefulness by himself as a standalone character, specifically in raids. And that'll do it for our list. What do you think? I'm sure there's some things that I missed, but I just wanted to point out that, you know, potentially Symbiote Spider-Man might be on his way out, and Gamora and friends might be on their way out as well. What do you think? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and as always, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.
All over. It's all over. Woo!